What's up, fam? It's your boys from the back of the class. We're here at the Global Pacific Arts, Culture and Sport Conference, presented to you by Talanoa Consultancy. We're here outside the Powerhouse Museum. We're gonna head in. Come and join us.
Got your head up, even when the road is hard, never give up, baby, don't cry. I hope you got your head up, even when the road is hard, never give up.
We're here with the man in charge of this event today, Dr. David Lakisa. David, do you mind just shedding a bit of light as to what's going on here today?
Sure, yeah. Well, firstly, malo lava le soi for maua, malangi mama. Today's an opportunity. It's called the Global Pacific Arts, Culture and Sport Conference. And essentially, it's about innovating and accelerating the space of not just being Pacifica, but doing Pacifica things in a shared space, whether it be in sport and media and art and culture and whatever industry or sector. So really it's about bringing Pacifica navigators together and, I mean, for lack of a better word, best practice, but really to Talanoa and to share what those spaces look like.
Nice. Just quickly, so I've done my homework. You've worked closely with New South Wales Rugby League. You're currently working with Queensland Rugby League.
I'm on the board of Southeast
Region?
The Southeast QRL Council. But yeah, former employee of the New South Wales Rugby League, and we spent a good 15 years here out in Western Sydney. So all my kids are Blues hard out, and so it's certainly an awesome time of year, man.
It is. Gets very intense in the households. Who do you go for, and then who's going to take game two?
Yeah, so to all the Queensland family, without getting offended, yeah, man, I'm still Blues hard.
Still Blues?
Yeah, man.
All right, you're here first. Blues. Hey, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Hey everybody, we're here with Dame Valerie Adams, four-time Olympic medalist, and amazing story, and we really enjoyed watching you today. Do you want to just tell us a bit of what you're here for today?
I'm actually here to join. I was on a panel for the Global Pacific Arts, Culture and Sports Conference run by David, which has been quite an eye-opener for me. Hopefully, people can take away ways on how they can navigate spaces, especially here within Australia, bring Pacific flavour and Pacific culture into certain spaces which could be uncomfortable. So it's actually trying to find ways of being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and kind of bringing your voice, because we all know we have a bit of something to bring into this world.
Yo, 100%. When I was listening to you talk, and something that really stuck out to me was, you didn't want to be, you wanted a seat at the table, not serving tea and coffee at the table. Yeah. How's that been for you? Is that something that's driven you to get to where you are, I guess, in professionally and yeah?
Yeah, well, I guess the norm would be for our people to do the serving, right? For our people to clean up, for our people to set up, and then other Pākehās turn up and have the meeting, and they leave, then you clean up, right? And for me, it was about I actually deserve to be at the table. I deserve to contribute, because what I'm about to say is valuable. So, having the opportunity to be at a table to make decisions about a sport and about an organisation that I'm heavily involved in is very empowering, because if you want to make change, you've got to be at the table. There's no point, bitching about it outside or talking about it to your mates or nagging about it, because you can't make changes out there. But you got to find your way to bring yourself in to have those constructive conversations and actually criticise the system if you need to, but also look at solutions and ways and how you can better it. Because for me, it's about, I've been in the system, high performance sport in New Zealand for over 20 years. It hasn't been great the whole time, but how can my experience make changes so it's better for the next athletes coming through the ranks?
Awesome. One more question. Between you and your brother, who wins in a one-on-one basketball match?
Is that even the question?
I'll stop there. I'll stop there, because I see in the hands on the clinch up.
Not even. But also, we don't play by the rules. We have the Adams rules, and there is no rules.
Also, Dame Valerie Adams thought we were actually performing today.
I really thought they all walked in with matching sweatshirts, and I really thought they were about to perform. Then they told me they were from Eddie's, Boys to Men, and I found out they were above the build-ups. So here we are.
Do you watch the Origin?
I think your next person is here. But if I did, I would have to go with the red.
Queenslander, yeah!
Sorry, guys.
Let's go. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Malo
Appreciate
pito.
it. Malo
Thank
pito,
you.
Yo, thank you.
got your head up, even when the road is hard. Never give up, baby, don't cry. I hope you got your head up, even when the road is hard. Never give up.
I'm here with Imelda Davis. We're still here at Powerhouse Museum. Do you mind telling the people, especially those who weren't able to attend today, just kind of reiterate your message about what you said inside the...
Yeah, sure. So my name's Wasicum Imelda Davis and I'm a City of Sydney councillor. I'm the first Australian South Sea Islander woman in its 180-year history to be appointed to the City of Sydney, and I'm the first black woman, of course, on council. But I guess my message today is about the fact that Sydney has been a receiving port for our Pacific nations, Port Jackson, Sydney Harbour, since the 1700s. I spoke about the history of blackbirding in Australia, which is about our Pacific nations that were reaped of some 60,000 men, women and some children. And those islands are still existing as a part of the Australian diaspora. And people tend to forget that we exist, yeah? So my thing is about reiterating the fact that we are Indigenous to the Pacific, we are Indigenous to Australia because of our connection with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander mob, but at the same time we're one soul wara, so one salt water people. So I think for me it's about the advocacy work I do on council and building our profile as a collective and making sure that people of colour are at the fore of the city's, I guess, events and policies and procedures and all that sort of stuff. It's about inclusivity.
That's amazing work. I wish you guys were all inside the auditorium to hear what she had to say. I got to ask you, we've asked everyone thus far, do you watch football at all?
You know what? I have grown up with the Koori knockout, so I do watch it, but at the same time, it's not my thing. My son's a basketballer, and I spoke about him in my speech. He's the first Australian South Sea Islander to receive a Division I scholarship to South Carolina, Winthrop University, and he's the first Australian South Sea Islander to go to Oxford. So I grew up also just schooling him through basketball. Good segue.
There we have it. Imelda Davis from the City of Sydney. To your son,
Thank you, my
good
darling.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you again for your time.
Tough to us.
Go North Carolina, or was it South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Go South Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Ray Moanga. He's a chaplain. He's actually a pastor.
Yes.
He's a pastor back in Brisbane, and he looks after the Firebirds.
Yes, Firebirds.
Firebirds. My man Ray here was the chaplain for the New Zealand Warriors. Probably why they lost. But
Savage.
no. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, Tucker.
Yeah, from Brisbane. That's how I met this lovely, beautiful man here. And yeah, I'm obviously he said what I do. Super passionate about it. Got a high school teaching background as well. So sort of any of the work that I do has always been around people. So yeah.
Man, thank you so much. It's funny. That I ran into you because we were looking through all the people that were coming today, and I was scrolling through and I seen your face. I was like, "Wow, that's my boy." It's funny that because we're actually here to shoot about back of the class podcast, right? And it's actually true exactly what happened because I was at the back of the class. We actually went to TAFE together, and Ray was probably the only one out of like 20 islanders that actually went to class.
To the front of the class.
Yeah, to the front of the class.
I was in the front, not the back.
I was so far back of the class, I was outside. But mate, well, I've been watching you and over the years and what you've done and very proud of you, bro. And thank you so much. Is there something that you like to say to the younger generation and people out there?
Yeah, I guess based on the podcast, like I was always in the front of the class. Always had friends and family who were at the back of the class, but I will say this, the back of the class is only the beginning, because the cool thing is you can always make your way to the front. So whatever the things that are going on in your life, maybe distractions of friends and things outside of maybe social media, maybe stuff in your community, know that the only way forward is to actually go closer and closer to the front. Like you can't go anywhere further back because you're in the back. That's a good thing. The only way up is forward. So that's it.
You heard it here first from the man himself. Thank you also for taking the time out, eh? Love you, bro. Thank you so much.
We're here with Don Mann. He's the CEO of the Pacific Media Network. Thanks, Don, for your time. As we had this conversation today about having a presence in the media from a Pacific representation. Why do you think these conversations are important to have?
First and foremost, we have the right and the responsibility to own our own stories, in the media space. So the organisation which I represent, Pacific Media Network, we broadcast in 10 Pacific languages, but it's by Pacific for Pacific. So Pacific producers, editors, camera people, board directors, executives, everything Pacific. And if we don't, well, then other people will tell our story. Take control, man, It's control, power, controlling our destiny. Back in Aotearoa, so I'm Tongan Māori, but on our Māori side we call it tino rangatiratanga, self-determination, mana motuhake, the ability to control yourself. So we take control and we don't let other people tell our story, we don't let other people tell who we are, and we don't let other people define who we are. We do it ourselves.
That's so powerful, bro. Thank you. We're here with Janik Sayuli, the event manager and planner for today's event. Can you tell us what it takes to put on one of these events?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for being here and for joining us today. As you can tell, my voice is gone, so I'm going to try my hardest to answer your questions. But it's been good. I think David, like Kisa, had reached out to us to help him put this event on. So luckily for me, we were here based in Sydney where all our contacts are, so it was easier for us. But to have the support of those businesses that have come on board, just to showcase what David's vision is, or just to create awareness around, our Pacific people amongst sports, culture, and art. So it's taken a few of us to get here, but it's nice to see it all come together now.
Nice. Being a proud Māori and Samoan woman, talk to us about the importance to you personally about these sort of events.
Yeah, I think, I wish we had more younger ones joining us, and this is our first event, so obviously in the years to come we could have students and things like that, because I guess it's important for them to see us or our people in these spaces and doing well on a world stage, or how to feel comfortable in those spaces. So it's really important, and I think it'll be good to, in the years to come, to have our younger generation join us, hopefully next year.
Yeah, so this is the first year. Yeah, we actually look forward to what this will become. Yeah. Thank you again, Janik.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Got your head up, even when the road is hard, never give up, baby don't cry. I hope you got your head up, even when the road is hard, never give up.